and it would be also a first step for healing. It's interconnected, is it not, Ms. Masaoka?
Yes, I think we didn't quite realize at the time how important the commission was for Japanese Americans in 1981, because we really didn't know about the camp experience. We didn't hear the stories from our parents. So for the people, as I said, to actually share their pain and their experiences, and for us, their children, to hear what they had to say and continue to hear what they had to say, it was a process. It was a process that, our community doesn't like to speak about pain. They didn't want those things to be brought out, but they did. And we're still actually working on healing as a community, even, 40 years later from that. It opened the door, and it helped us to understand what happened and why our parents were the way they were, why we felt the way we did about ourselves, and why our children may also feel the way they do. So yes, it was a first step towards healing.
Well, and
the unnatural internment that they faced in the 1940s of patriotic Japanese Americans. We have received 300 letters from Japanese Americans in support of HR40. We are aware of the fact that Japanese Americans, under a Republican president, had the Civil Liberties Act, which was signed into law by President Reagan, and received a reparation. Would you share with us the fact that this legislation, HR40, if I might use the term, is mainstream and is relevant to today as it was relevant to you and the Japanese Americans in 1988, shortly thereafter John Conyers introduced this bill, and I'm glad in his leaving the Congress he was kind enough to pass to me his legacy and ask me to carry this bill. Ms. Masaoka, if I've got it right, would you share with that point about the support of Japanese Americans and these 300 letters and the feeling that came over you in 1988 to receive the Civil Liberties Act, signed by a Republican president?
I think that our community mobilized very quickly to submit those 300 letters, and I am really proud of our community because I think we understood and understand the lesson of redress and of the Civil Liberties Act, and that is solidarity with others, and to communicate the fact that you said, yes, it is mainstream. We won redress in 1988, and we didn't think we could, but we did with support of the whole country, enough to pass. And, we thank the African-American community and other communities who came in solidarity with us. But this government paid redress out of its treasury to people that were victimized in 1942. So it is something that can be done and should be done. We wholeheartedly support HR40 and want to continue to support and see that it passes, because it's for the passage of Civil Liberties Act of 1988 meant a lot to our community. It meant that we could hold our head up high to say that our government apologized, was accountable, and that we were not, it was an injustice. It acknowledged that and continued to educate people today around that injustice. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me have my last question to Ms. Heath. The